So here's my outline, my audience members.
Oh, t'es professeur photographe.
Okay, today I have a persuasive speech on why kids should be able to have access and use their phones during school.
Good God.
And this is a controversial topic, it's supposed to be. So we're gonna start off with just a story of how phones can be used in school. So personally, in junior year, I used my phone to download an app for physics class in order to measure the decibels of sound of specifically whistles, and that's just one way phones are able to be used in school in a more beneficial way. So the reason to listen is because this affects the maturity level of students and their security level. And so we're gonna discuss the problem of why it's a problem that phones are banned during school, the causes of this problem, and how we can solve this problem. So kids not being able to use their phone in school is a problem, like I said, and there are many ways phones are not being able to be used in school. So they either have kids put them in lockers, in their book bags, or in pouches that are locked during the whole day, and then they'll unlock at the end of the day. My bad. Okay, so there are many different causes due to this problem, and the number one issue is safety. I have a quote from the article Smartphones, Smart Kids by Brosana. In paragraph 4, it states, Grace Hurley, 13, an 8th grader from Yorktown Heights, New York, agrees, we should be able to carry our cell phones in school because we may need to contact our parents in emergencies, she says. And this is an important point of view from a student because unfortunately nowadays school shootings are becoming more and more common, and it's important for kids to be able to access a guardian or an adult they trust. Another safety issue is bullying, and people think that phones help kids bully, but bullying will happen in and outside of school no matter what, and phones can be used as a tool in order to capture a moment where school cameras can't capture the sound in case a kid is being bullied and they need proof or evidence for the school to take action. Another cause is because in the new classroom generation, technology is becoming more and more involved in the curriculum. For example, in the text, the article, cell phones, text messages in schools, it states, one superintendent commented that in his more than 40 years of education, he has never seen kids so engaged in learning. And this is because of technology. Kids are very intrigued and are eager to learn because of the use of technology. I have another quote from the article, The Debate Over Cell Phones Use in Schools, Pros and Cons. With just a few taps, students can research topics, use learning apps, or watch instructional videos. This is important because videos are a very used way to teach kids, but sometimes administration blocks certain videos because they deem it as inappropriate, but the teacher will get permission to use a video that is blocked under administration, so kids could use their phones in order to watch the said video. And lastly, another cause because kids can't use their phone in schools is they lack growing basic skills like responsibility, accountability, and use of judgment. If a student isn't able to have the option to use their phone during class or to not use their phone and just forced to not use their phone, they won't learn to use their judgment if it's a good time to use their phone or to not use their phone. So then when they're in college or work or in the real world and they have the option to do either or, they're going to choose a cell phone and learn harder consequences instead of softer consequences that will happen in high school or middle school. Another reason is accountability. If a student fails something, they can look around at their peers who are succeeding and see, oh, I use my phone a little more than I should have, and now I'm gonna take accountability and stop using my phone and learn how to be more responsible. And now to solutions of kids using their phones in school, because it can't just be a free-for-all, everything has rules and regulations. The first thing is certain policies, like certain times in school, like free time where they could use their phone to just listen to music or do a different activity on their cellular device if they have finished their task at hand. Another harsher way is failing. Students need to fail in order to learn anything. Failing is a way of learning. So if a student fails a class, a test, or a quiz, they're gonna see that, oh, I used my phone when the teacher was teaching this, so I missed out on this, and they'll be able to practice their mindfulness and make better decisions next time. So in conclusion, phones can be used as a tool, and they should not be banned in school because it causes a lot of problems and issues like safety, adjusting to the new generation classrooms, and just learning and growing basic skills. So back to the story of me using my phone in school as a beneficial way. It is very common nowadays as technology is growing and expanding for kids to use their cell phones or Chromebooks in schools. And so most things on Chromebooks you can do on cell phones, but most things on cell phones you can't do on Chromebooks. So it is important to expand their curriculum and knowledge of technology as it's becoming more and more common in the workforce nowadays. So do we have any questions?
Oh, I have a question. So as an educator and a parent, I find that I would rather my child or student receive like emergency or urgent information like in an office setting surrounded by adults that could support them as opposed to on their phone in a classroom surrounded by their peers. How would you address my concern as a parent?
Could you explain more like on...
So let's say it was an emergency, like something bad happened at home. I prefer that they get that call in the office with the office secretaries and the principal as opposed to getting a text in the classroom.
That can be very subjective, as sometimes kids don't feel comfortable with sharing that type of information with certain faculty members or people like that. So I think it is up to the student's family in order to how they want to give that information out.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's it. Thank you guys for your time. So
Woo!
I love it.
and these are my audience members, and my audience members
That was great.
here.